Recently, a group of church representatives have been arrested after protesting in Julie Bishop's office against the housing of children in refugee detention centres.
There were 15 of us that went into Julie Bishop's office. 11 of us, when we were asked to leave, didn't. All of us asked the question, when will the children be released from detention? And we hadn't had our questions answered in any way. Silence is the approach of the government, and we decided that it was important for us to dramatise the issue, as Martin Luther King Jr. has in the past, by not leaving. And so we were arrested, and on Friday morning, Friday the 2nd of May, we faced court regards that protest.
2 weeks after the incident at Julie Bishop's office, a crowd gathered in support outside Central Courts before the trial.
Look, at the moment, the Australian government has decided that when children and their families and individual children come to seek refuge, which is part of their right to flee persecution, that if they arrive here by boat, that the best approach is for us to lock those children away. Now, the Australian Human Rights Commission is saying that the damage being done to these children is becoming catastrophic.
I will be outside the court supporting my friends and brothers and sisters, and we'll be praying, and we'll be still drawing attention to the issue and as much as we can dramatising it out the front of the courthouse on the day.
In 2004, the Howard government released all children from detention. And so we think that this is the same step that needs to happen now. And the Australian Human Rights Commissioner, Gillian Triggs, has said that if all 1,138 children are released from detention by September, she'll pulp a report which is outlining the long-term damages that will be occurring to these children for their futures.
Particularly powerful for me today is that some of my friends who have lived through this horror, who have been woken 3 times a night and referred to as a number, are here with us right now. And I want to ask you forgiveness that our nation has treated you like this. I want to ask you forgiveness that I've been complicit and silent when I should have said something earlier. And I want to make my commitment to you today that we will work that this doesn't happen to others.
The Uniting Church and the New South Wales Baptist Church have agreed to take over 300 children that are without carers and put them in part of the community. And like anyone who comes seeking asylum by plane, the families with children will be just released into the community. And again, there are many churches and other groups and networks that would say, oh, we'd love to help these refugees land in Australia and make a great go of a new life here, because they can no longer live where they came from without fear of often death or various serious consequences.
No, there's no Australian 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old that's currently locked up, no matter the violent crime. The problem is that these kids have done no crime.
I feel it's just such a privilege to be involved and to know these people and to be a part of it. And I can just only hope that we can appeal to the hearts and minds of all of those who know us personally and see this, that they would maybe reconsider how they feel about refugees and asylum seekers themselves.
Because this is a struggle in which we must all continue to be engaged until not only the 1,138 children are released, not only all the other people in detention are released, but until we have turned the hearts and minds of this nation so that every person in this nation says, come to us seeking help, and we will respond with compassion.
I think anyone who comes here seeking refugee, like people that come by plane, should be treated well and should be managed in the community. There's no doubt that we should also develop a strategy to help our neighbours and other nations process the millions of people that are in the world that are currently facing some form of persecution and are fleeing as refugees. What's interesting as well is that the numbers that we will have to deal with is significantly less than other parts of the world, where nations are quite keen to realise that they need to welcome the refugee and have a plan to involve them and get them connected and into a better life.
After speaking with Peter Barney, we asked the public what they thought on the issue. Do you think children should be in refugee detention centres?
No, I don't. I think it's not a very safe environment. I think it puts a lot of psychological, has a lot of psychological effects on children, let alone the adults that are there as well, and that it's not a very good place for any children or people really to be any sort of living conditions they should be in.
Definitely not.
And why do you think that?
It's inhumane.
No.
Any particular reason why?
I just don't think it's humane for children to be raised in that kind of environment.
They are here to be free, so let them free.
No, not at all.
And why is that?
It's not the place for children. It's not the place for people, really. It's a prison.
Yeah, I think it's pretty harsh to have children in detention.
I am a refugee. I am a captive child, a detainee, I pace from wall to wall.
It seems like this is an important issue for many Australians. We will have to wait and see if the government make any changes. Until then, we are still waiting on the verdict of the trial. You can follow the group's progress on Twitter and Facebook at Love Makes a Way. Catherine Croston, reporting for Undercurrent.